Good morning, everybody. Scott at Enduro America. Today is the big day. We're going to install these King shocks on the Inios Grenadier. Stay tuned. Alright, everybody. These are the tools necessary to complete this job. So, I've got a 3-ton jack. I took the handle off because I'm using the handle as a breaker bar. I've got a jack stand just for safety purposes. I've got a towel to kneel on because I don't have any other thing to kneel on, I guess, around here. I've got a 3/4 inch drive socket wrench, a 10-inch crescent wrench, a 3/4 to 1/2 inch adapter for the rest of the sockets because I didn't have all the right sizes. This is an 18 millimeter, and this is mainly going to be for the top nuts for the shock mounts. We've got a 21 millimeter for your lug nuts, and a 24 millimeter for the bottom bolt for the shock itself. I've also got an 18 mil open end box wrench, so we're using this side here because you're not going to get that side in there. And then just our standard 1/2 inch drive as well. And that was everything that you need for the rears. Okay, so video 2 is going to be the fronts, but in this video we are going to be breaking down everything that you need and how to do the rears. No, just this. I've already done the job. I came back and just recorded all of this for you guys, so you have it. It's not a difficult procedure to get the shock off, put the new shock on. It's probably going to take you about 45 minutes per side, roughly, if you're using just hand tools that you're finding in the garage. If you have the tools that I just listed here, it's going to be an easy operation for you. 45 minutes in and out. You might be able to do it quicker. I was taking my time. That was the first time that I have done it. That was me sourcing all of the tools and getting everything, getting the tire off and on and all that good stuff. So maybe 30 minutes per side. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you like these kind of videos, go ahead and like and subscribe, and let's get to it. Alright, so I've got the jack out. Sort of started jacking up the side of the truck here and getting these lug nuts off. I realized I have no tools down here. I brought everything up to the house, so we're going to make do with kind of what we have. So stay tuned and we'll try to figure this out. Let me turn the camera around. Alright, so I've got the jack going. I had to pull the jack handle off to use it as a breaker bar because, again, I don't have my larger stuff with me here. So I'm going to get a jack stand just to be a little safer anyway. Put this under there. Alright, so it looks like, let me get this in a little closer. It looks like we've got a shock bolt down here, which seems to be pretty easily accessible. And then the one up here, I'm not too dang sure about because I don't see how that's going to come out of there. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm looking at this funny, but where is that bolt supposed to go? Because it's going to hit on here. Does this whole thing come out maybe? Oh yeah, the mount itself. So it looks like we're actually going to have to get up here, and there's 2 of those. There's one here and then there's one way back there. We're going to have to get those out, and it looks like this entirety of this mount just drops down. So 1 degree more difficult, but not a big deal. I'll go ahead and pause the camera. I'll grab the tools and we'll go from there. Alright, so the top nuts are an 18 millimeter. Just got this open end box wrench right here that's going to do it. And then the bottom, I don't have anything big enough. So we're going to have to use these 2 crescent wrenches. So give me a sec. I'm going to pause this again. I'm going to try to pop this off of here and see if I can actually budge these or move these. Matter of fact, I'll do it while I've got you guys right here. We'll see how tight these things really are. Let me get this adjusted so you can see up in here. So this one actually moves all right. All right, so we're good there. All right, that's not terrible. Let's see what else. Let's see if I can even reach this back one. I may have to take this plastic guard off. Maybe I can get it with this guy here. Boy, it's tough to get in there too. There we go. Oh yeah, that's not awful. All right, so you guys can see it's not really all that bad. I'm gonna find a pad so that I can kneel on something here, so I'm not just on the concrete. And I'll get the bolts taken off of this thing. I'll come back when I do these blowers. We'll see how tight these lowers are and see what it's kind of like. All right, I'm back. So the bottom, you will not get that off with your standard crescent wrenches. That thing is really, really tight. It is a 24 millimeter socket. So you've now got an 18 mil, I believe the, shoot, I can't remember, the lug nuts were a 21. So a 18 mil, a 21, and a 24 mil socket is what you're gonna need to kind of complete this. So this is what I did again. So I got the wrench down in there with the 24 mil socket, and I had to put this handle on there and basically bench press the thing because there was no breaking that loose with anything else. It was really, really tight. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that off of there, and I'll come back in a sec again. There we go. So there's the tension released finally. So we know that those shocks are working. Oh, so there's the bottom section. Now, we still need to get the one bolt that's stuck on the top here, and then I'll wedge this bottom outwards and go from there. I want tension up here still, so I don't want to push that out of there quite yet, because up here it'll be easier to take that off if it's not jiggling around. So hang tight with me again. Alright guys, one more little tip. It turns out you can get an 18 mil socket in here and work it from the back side of this. So on the second one, I think, I'm not 100% sure yet, because a lot of hardware has got to come out of this thing to pull this panel, but it would make it a heck of a lot easier. But you can get back in here. It's not the easiest, but you can get your arm back in here and do that. So that's probably what I would do. There, it went and released on the bottom there too. So just as a tip, 18 mil you can get in here. Not sure if you can do it from this side again, but we'll give that a go on the install. All right, whew, she is out. So that's the entirety of the shock, getting that out of there. Maybe took me, I don't know, 10 minutes. First time around, like I say, it wasn't like, if you have the tools ready and stuff, it'll be obviously a lot easier. You know, but compiling everything and jacking it up and taking the wheel off, probably an extra 5 or 6 minutes. So 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes, you can have one of the rear shocks out. I'm gonna get this thing over on the bench. I'll get the shock mount taken off of here, and I'm gonna mount it up to the King. And here, maybe I can turn this camera around again on it. Whew, boy. I'll get this facing downward a little more. All right, so here's the new one. And that's the old one. Now I just have to look at the orientation. I believe it goes like that when it's in there, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see here. Yeah, because this would be facing to the back, I believe. You can kind of see too, these shocks, so the Kings are about an inch longer on the bottom side here. So let's try to get this thing off of here. I think that's probably going to be the same as the bottom. And I may have to move this to the vise to be able to do this too. I guess we'll find out in a minute. that's not going to work. I'm going to need a deep well. Deep well 24, because I don't think I'm going to be able to turn it from this side. We can try. Kind of going the wrong way here too. Let's switch this around. So we're pushing downwards. Yeah, this is going to need the vise, I can tell you that already probably, because either that or we're going to have to put it back up in the vehicle a little bit and see if we can get it off like that. Oh man. Yeah, it's just flexing. So it's flexing the rubber inside of here is what's happening right now. So again, under normal circumstances we would have the impact and be able to just and zip this off of here. Which I might be giving up to go and get that in a minute here, but I'm going to see if I can get this by hand first. I don't really know. We could shove it in the tow hitch or something, and it'd give us a little better leverage too. I was trying to do this to show everybody that you can do these kits like this without having any like specialized tooling or anything like that. We can just be kind of keep it intuitive and get it done. But let me see if I can get the hitch deal out of there, or shove this thing somewhere else, and see if we can get this off of here. Give me a sec. Okay, so this is attempt number 1. I've gone ahead and just put it right through the wheel, and I'm going to see if I can get it like that. So try to readjust us again here. Let's see if this will work. And actually, I'm going to see if I can bite onto just a tiny bit of this end, which that's kind of sketchy. Boy, that's not going to work. That's too sketchy. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Okay, got her. Holy cow. So, I don't think you'd be able to do that without the breaker bar. Alright, so pull that out. So that's what we need to be able to mount to the King shock. So now we have a completely disassembled shock. Whew, you guys are making me work for this. So, as we've shown, you can do this, again, with very minimal tools. I've got a 3/4 inch ratchet on a 24 mil socket, was what we pulled that off of there with, and a 10 inch crescent wrench. The rest of this stuff, again, we can add this to our list, and I'll put this on either on the beginning or the end of the video too. I'll make another separate video so that everybody has exactly what they need to be able to do this. But regular 1/2 inch socket or a ratchet with a 18 mil. We've got to add that one to it too to get that top deal off. And I mean, you can use the open end box wrench like I was using, just a regular wrench, but it's going to take you a long time. That would have been a total pain in the butt. And again, we can do it without taking that inner tire cover liner out, this deal right here. So there's our liner, this whole thing that lines this. So you can get it all without taking that off of there. So give me another minute here. I'm going to I'll get the King shock mounted up here. There's no instructions that come with this kit either, so I don't really know. I assume the orientation is that reservoir is to the back, but I'm going to have to experiment with that for a minute here and just to make sure, and we'll go from there. So I'm just going to pop this back on. It looks to me like this mount is exactly, yeah, it's the same on both sides, so there shouldn't be any issue there. So assuming that this is to the back and to the front, this bolt was in just like this on the stock one. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in just like that on this one as well. Now I've got to tighten her up. And I'm going to try to do this just stationary on this table. in between this would be nice, just so we're not scarring up the shock so much. Let's wrap that in there. I should have had something to stabilize this one with as well. Oh, the other arm over here. You guys can make a comment down there and tell me what would have been a little easier on us. But this is how we're doing it here today. I might even put this down on the table just to gain me a tiny bit of extra leverage. Maybe. It's pretty dang tight, but I don't know what the torque spec is on something like that. The thing is it can't ever come out of there, but obviously we don't want it to come out of there ever. Just if I had a deep well socket, I'd be able to do it better like that. Oh, it must be tight because I can't even move the dang thing now. There we go. Alright, so let's go check this out. Let's put this in temporarily. And it says this was the right side, so they will come numbered for us. So the order number 23 plus Grenadier, right side. Cut this off too, just so it's ready to go. Alright, let's go back over to the truck. Pick this bad boy up. Let me get this camera set up. Whew, so I'm getting a little sweaty here. So let's just kind of see how this fits in here first. Oh yeah, yep. So that must be the general orientation of it. So it's going to go backwards just like that. I'm going to get one of these started so that's not flopping out of here on us. There we go. Get the other one in here too. So again, you can access this from way back behind here. So if you can see, my arm is back behind that panel. So I'm going to get these tightened up as much as I possibly can by hand, just so we don't have so much to do when we get the wrench on here. Whew! Alright, well there's the beginnings of it. So I'm going to get these tightened up fully, and then I'm going to work on this one on the bottom here. Well, I thought I had that pretty tight by hand, but apparently I didn't. Again, I don't know the torque specs, but that was probably a heck of a lot tighter right there than what it was when I took it off. All right. Whew, top's done. Now, let's see what we can do about getting this bottom section put in. It actually looks like it lines up pretty well. I guess we're going to find out in a second. Here, I'll move the camera back down so y'all can see this too. I'll change angles here. All right. Let's see. Wow, that's really close too. Oh, it's almost like the we may have to let that down on that jack stand just a tiny bit, because I don't think I can push that up. Oh boy, it's so close too. I'm going to let this jack down just a hair so it hits this jack stand, so it puts a little tiny bit of pressure going up. I actually got a little bit of pressure on it right now, actually. So this is where it would be really nice to have two people, because you could have somebody running this jack real nice here. So what I'm going to try to do is push this bolt a little and push down on the jack at the same time. Oh, and I can't even do that. Holy cow. I'll have to just go a tiny bit at a time. There we go. That might actually go. There we go. That's not quite straight though, I don't think, but... Okay, we're going to have to jack it up just a tiny bit to straighten this now. There, that wasn't so bad. Now, if I recall, we were using a 24 on this. So let me hold it with this again. I'm going to get the breaker bar deal here again. Yeah, leverage is definitely your friend on a project like this. All right. Whew. I'll put one more on here just to see if it... and again, I might go get the... Oh yeah, it's just turning the whole thing. I'm going to try to tighten this one more time. I'll move this camera one more time. So this has kind of been my procedure with this. Wow, I gotta try to get behind this a little farther. There we go. So you guys that have lifts, this would be way nicer to do if you had access to a lift. Like 1,000 times better. But I'm gonna call that good. End up snapping the dang bolt off. She is good and tight. Oh. Whew. Alright, so there's one side completed. Again, I assume that that thing faces the rear facing, because it doesn't look like you'd have the clearance on this side, so it's got to be back here. Take the fancy sticker protector off, and I think we're, oh, now we're done. Alright guys, I think I'm going to split this up into 2 separate videos. I'll do the front maybe on another day. I'll get the other back one put in today. That actually wasn't that bad. The total video time was only 30 minutes. So, you know, again, never doing it before, kind of having to improvise on certain things. Probably 45 minutes per side if you're using the most basic of tools and doing everything by hand. So, again, not too dang bad. Whew, you are going to get sweaty. I am really sweating. I've got the air conditioner going in here too, but it's just not keeping up today. It's like 90 some degrees. I think it's almost 100 degrees today, which I've got the door open still too, which isn't helping my case. I could probably close that. But I hope you guys enjoy these videos. Like I say, I do what I can for the Inios community. I don't know that that they help or not, but if they do, leave a thumbs up and maybe leave a comment and tell me what you think. I guess I'm going to move on to the other side here. I'm not going to video that one, so I'll end this video now. But if you guys have any questions or anything like that, again, I'm going to make a separate one that I'll put somewhere in this video with the tools all lined out, exactly what you're going to need to be able to perform this operation here on the Inios. But again, if you guys like the videos, go ahead and subscribe. And thank you for watching.